This is I Am Change podcast. Everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself. There is zero success without change. Be the change you want to see. Believe, focus, achieve. The Nigerians in Diaspora Commission is set to host its second investment summit with the theme, Leveraging Diaspora Resources for Economic Growth. Now, this summit targets investments from Nigerians outside the country as a strategy for growing the economy. Now, to tell us all about this summit and everything it entails, I have with me two organizers, Dr. Badewa Adejube Williams and Marie David. Thank you for joining us on I Am Change podcast. I am Joyce Ometu, your host. So thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. Every year, Diaspora Day is held to discuss the synergy between the government and the contributions of the diaspora. So now we have the Nigerian Diaspora Investment Summit, which was launched last year, with the maiden edition. So what does this summit aim at achieving? Let me start with you, Mrs. Badewa.
Okay. Yeah. The purpose of the summit actually is to invite diaspora Nigerians and friends of Nigeria who are all over the world who have interest in investing in different projects or activities in Nigeria.
Okay.
We're inviting them, diaspora Nigerians, because they already have the emotional connection. It's home. They need to look at their families. How can they help their families? Instead of just remitting money for social activities, for social welfare, we now want them to invest in actual businesses that will be able to track and see the impact. The purpose of this is so that, when they build up the private sector, which is our primary focus, then those private sectors will be able to now, employ others, create jobs and generate revenue. That way we can start impacting the economy of the nation, and not just economic impact, but also social impact. So as we're developing all the different sectors that they're being invested in, people will feel better about themselves, and the economy of the nation will also be better. So that's the purpose of it. Now, though we say private sector driven, definitely private sector driven. We want those small, medium-sized enterprises to come and sort for investors. But some government MDAs may also have projects, so there's opportunities for public-private partnerships as well.
All right. So how's this summit different from the normal Nigerian Diaspora Day we celebrate every year?
Yeah, that's a really good question. First of all, the Nigerian Diaspora Day is a general time. It's really a day dedicated to Nigerians in the diaspora to bring everybody together, to get them to stay connected home. You want that. Now, the summit is definitely different in the sense that, like Dr. Badewa said, it's really focused on business interactions, and it's interactions between investors and those that have projects, that have businesses, that are seeking finances to expand their businesses or to just launch out into the deep with their businesses. And yes, truly, you could go to so many other summits, but what makes this different and kind of close to our hearts as business owners is the fact that it seeks to inject funds into projects and businesses that are invested already. And we're going to be doing that screening as well. So it's not just everybody you can come in and want to promote your business, but you have to go through some basic, screening process, just so we can determine that an investor would actually be willing and interested in partnering with you or investing their money in your business.
Okay, talking about that, who is expected to attend and what are the requirements?
All right. We are expecting, within Nigeria, it could be investors, it could also be people. It should actually, we're hoping, a lot of business promoters, people who need investors for their businesses in all the various sectors that we've advertised for. We're also expecting diaspora Nigerians to come from all over the world. Some are bringing their partners who are foreign partners to also come to invest in Nigeria. Last year, our expectation was about 200 people. We had over 300.
Wow.
You know, but it's not about the crowd, it's about the quality of the people who are coming. So we have a lot of investors, especially into agriculture, education, hospitality, sports, mining, you know, extractive industries generally. You know, we have so many, healthcare, they're all coming. They want to invest in the sectors. So those are the types of people we're expecting. And we have people coming from China, from France, from the United States, from, you know, America generally, North and South America and Europe, all over the continents where Nigerians are. And, you know, a lot of Nigerians are really doing well. They have the financial and technical resources. So we want to harness this. And another thing we also want to stress, as I keep going back to the remittances, is we keep hearing about remittances. But, you know, we don't really see it. It's something that, yes, families build impact personally because they're taking care of their own needs. However, as the economy of the nation, we don't see it in terms of job creation. So now we want them to harness this money that they're sending home into actual businesses. So we really need to stress that. So we have first, even second generation Nigerians who have their children that are coming to Nigeria because they still feel that connection. You know, they want to improve the lives of the people in Nigeria.
So what are the requirements, Mary?
For the business?
Yes.
Oh, actually, it's open to everyone.
Right.
But the most of the steps to register on our website, which is www.ndis.gov.ng. And over on that website, you can register just either as a participant or as an investor. And if you're a participant, you can also choose. We have so many different categories. You can choose to register as one seeking investors to your business, so that you can now be put into that group of those that will be screened through, so that you can showcase your business to the investors. So essentially, our website has all the steps to registration, but it's really easy. It's not that complicated. You just go in and give us basic information, just so you know, for you know how it is, so you can track and, you know, security reasons and all of that.
And a lot of people also want to come for business to business networking.
Networking.
You know, we've gotten quite a lot of inquiries about that. People are looking for partners for different things, not necessarily money, but, you know, they're looking for partners to do projects with, you know, to develop some kind of relationship with. So those are also coming.
One of the things I wanted to add to what Dr. Badewa said earlier is that when you think about people in diaspora, some of them have been gone for a long time, others, you know, not for so long, but the one common thread is trying to figure out the one, tangible businesses, but even more importantly is secure businesses where you can hold it up for integrity purposes. And so everybody's scared. I don't want to be scammed. And so this is really creating a platform where you can trust that at least, you know the people that you're dealing with. I mean, it's a transparent platform, so you can pretty much come and, you know, since we're holding ourselves out as doing the due diligence, it's a private sector led, so that tells you a lot, which means, you know, you're not just going to be bringing everybody in on the street, but you know, you care about, you know, the trust that people are going to be looking to gain from their participation in a summit such as this.
And a lot of the diaspora Nigerians are also comfortable knowing that the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission is there as a one-stop shop for them as well, to help to create an enabling environment for these businesses. And with some of the partners we have, like NIPC, the Ease of Doing Business in Nigeria, all these relevant agencies will be there to guide, because they are the ones with the policies who are aware of the regulations. So questions can be answered. And as Marie was also saying, you know, the second is more of a workshop. It's very technical. So there's some hindrances, you know, some uncertainties, some unanticipated challenges. We're dedicating that day to help resolve these issues, so that hopefully before they leave, they would have made connections.
Okay, what day is the summit?
It's November 6th and 7th, and it will be at the State House.
All right. The diaspora is a function of some things that have been going wrong in our country, in Nigeria. A lot of people left because the economy clearly wasn't working, and they took away their skills, they took away their resources, Now, I'm sure a lot of people want to ask this question, how can the diaspora contributions fast track Nigeria's economy?
This summit is one of the best ways to do that.
Okay.
We are harnessing, the talents that Nigerians have that are in the diaspora. Now let's think about it this way. We can't all just leave,
That's right.
and we're not necessarily also saying you should come back.
Right.
But you have some resources that can actually help to develop the nation.
Right.
Investing in Nigeria, invest in the people, invest in the projects. People complain, there's no infrastructure. We are getting to a PPP arrangement and invest in infrastructure.
Right.
Let's start fixing all these places, all these things that are wrong with the country. Because if we all leave, who are we leaving it for? And then, some people also say, insecurity. Nowhere in the world is secure. I can guarantee you that. Each country has its challenges.
Right.
Yes, stay comfortable where you are, but this is also business. You invest and you get return on investment. It's not charity. We're not asking you to just be dashing money to your relatives at home. We're saying invest in a business. So you get your returns and you'll be happy. At the end of the day, it's a win-win. Economy starts booming. We always say we need to look at the grassroots. We need to look at the people.
Right.
It's not focused on coming to do something with government. No, let's do for the people. That's where you see the immediate impacts. Lives will be changed. And once lives are being changed, people pay taxes. Before you know it, economy starts booming. So that's how Nigerians can assess. Some can also render their technical expertise. In all these new ventures that are coming up. We welcome that.
Mary, you want to add something?
Yeah, so one of the things that I like talking about, even, is when you think about where we are as a nation, we didn't get here one day. And so when you think about all the social ills, most of them are connected to economy.
Absolutely.
If a country's economy is buoyant, is booming, you will not see people are not going to be forced to go do the unthinkable. They're not going to be forced to get into crimes and all sorts of things that you see going on.
That's right.
And so you naturally is going to create a safer social environment where our hope and desire is that there will be so many businesses coming out of this that everybody, the employment rate now becomes much higher than what it is today, because as you know, most other parts of the world, it's not just the government. As a matter of fact, the government is one key player, but you have the SMEs, you have, and then there's that piece. So that's the one we're looking to see how we can begin to fill that gap. Because today, most people, I would say majority of, majority of Nigerians want to work for the government, But honestly speaking, that's not necessarily always, the best thing for people's that you could have alternatives and you could have options by setting up your own business and finding the right partners to invest and work with.
And something we also need to keep in mind is it's projected that Nigeria's population will double.
Yes.
By the year 2050.
2050.
Who's going to provide the services? So we need to start investing in those things now.
Absolutely.
So that's another thing we're trying to be proactive, to start creating jobs in anticipation.
All right. Thank you very much for coming on our platform. Do you have any final words? Any last words?
Yes, we want those people with businesses who are looking for investors.
Okay.
Even if you are not ready, at least come for the experience. But we really want to encourage the business promoters to register, because this summit is for them. So they need to come and benefit from it.
Okay.
And I just wanted to add to that on November 2nd, we actually have a pre-summit workshop where those that are probably not comfortable to stand in front of say a big audience to talk about the projects, they can actually come to GDLI.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, they can come to GDLI, which is right in the central area, across from Ministry of Finance. And from 9 a.m. we'll be there, just kind of coaching people and letting them understand the best way they can set themselves up so they can
that'll be on
attractive.
the second.
On the 2nd of November.
November.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
You've been listening to I Am Change podcast. I'm Joyce Ometu. Thank you for listening.